Let's have a quick recap. My mother-in-law DNA tested my baby behind my back after I'd said no, I do not want my baby DNA tested. She couldn't do the test with my husband because my husband had also said no to the DNA test, so she DNA tested our baby with her husband. The results came back as a 0 match and honestly nearly ruined my life because my husband for a period of time believed that that baby wasn't his. Enter my partner's dad. He comes to us and tells us that he wants to do a DNA test with his son. Not with the baby, not with my partner and our baby. No, my partner's dad and my partner. I hope that makes sense. So they do a DNA test behind my mother-in-law's back because if they are a match, if they are father and son, they obviously don't want the mum to know that they've done a DNA test. Turns out they're not father and son. 0 match. Absolutely no chance in hell that my partner's dad is really his dad, his biological dad. So the last time I spoke to you, we had just got the results to tell us that my partner and his dad weren't related in any way. Then we decided to confront my mother-in-law. And I am so excited to tell you this story. So my husband and his dad went full-on family intervention style. And lucky little old me got to be there as well. We waited at her house for her to come home from lunch with her sister. Lunch with her sister is her weekly gossip and complaining sessions. My plan was to be chilled, silent even, demure, you know? Just sit back, sip my water and watch the fireworks fly. That did not happen. When she walked through that front door, all smiles and shopping bags, something in me just snapped. I stood up, slammed the DNA results down on her table, slid them towards her in exactly the same fashion she did to me. And then I just watched the realization and the panic wash over her face. All hell broke loose at that point. My husband and his dad started shouting over each other, shouting at her at the same time. It was messy, loud, and so emotional. But whilst this was going on, she did not look at the men once. She stood there staring at me the whole time, and I just smirked right back. Finally, once my husband and his dad had stopped shouting and the silence just engulfed us, she slowly turned to look at her husband. And more coldly than I could probably recite, she said, "It was 30 years ago. What do you want me to do about that now?" And then she just left, just walked out. No apology, no shame, no explanation. The audacity of this woman, she tried to expose me. Tried to tear me and my baby away from our family. And then when her own mess crawled out from under the floorboards, it's everybody else's fault. But wait, it gets better. Her husband decided to stay. His exact words were, "She's right. It was over 30 years ago. What am I going to do with that now? I shouldn't have taken the test." And would you believe my partner had pretty much the same response? She's my mum at the end of the day. You only get one mum. We just need to move on. I can't move on. Whilst everybody else is just brushing this scandal under the rug, I'm still standing here being told to smile in the face of the person who tried to sabotage my whole life. A woman who measured the skin tone of my newborn baby whilst hiding a whole secret child of her own this whole time. How can I ever get over that? Now I know what you're thinking. If I choose to stay in this relationship, then I do just need to move on. And I know you're right. You know, as much as I want to, I would never go and track down her ex-lover from 30 years ago. And I would never leave little hints of him everywhere for her to find. And I would never try to convince her that she's going mad. And if I have another son, I would never name him after the biological dad as a constant reminder. Because that would be crazy, right?